that's the big tournament that we need to go out there and win. A lot of tough competition, a lot of our rivals. We got to make a name for ourselves like we've done in the past, but no, we just played our game and came out on top.
Welcome to episode 330 of Alberta Dugout Stories, the podcast. I'm Joe McFarland. The baseball season is well underway with plenty of action all over the place. So let's get right to it. And we'll start in the pros, and the comeback trail for Calgary's Michael Soroka is now complete. After a trio of starts in the minors while coming back from an elbow injury, the PBF Redbirds alum was called back up by the Washington Nationals Wednesday to start against the Cleveland Guardians. He was cruising through 5 innings, not allowing a run while striking out 8.
Strike 3 call. Throwing off the timing of Rocchio there, who could not pull the trigger, and that's number 8.
Well, backdoor slider. That pitch has been called a ball all day for Logan Allen, and not for Michael Soroka.
All his teammates will gather around Michael and give him a pat on the back for a good outing.
Now, Soroka did run into some troubles in the 6th, finishing the day with 4 runs on 5 hits and 2 walks to go along with those 8 punch-outs as the Nationals fell 8-6. The comeback is also on for Stony Plain product and Vauxhall Academy grad Adam Mako. He's been sidelined since spring training with an injury. He allowed 2 runs on 3 hits and 2 walks while striking out 6 in 3 1/3 with the FCL Blue Jays in a 2-0 loss to the Tigers. With the big league Blue Jays struggles on the mound, one's got to wonder if Mako will get bumped up the depth charts sooner rather than later. Speaking of moving up the depth charts, how about Matt Lloyd? Last week we talked about his walk-off grand slam for the Memphis Redbirds, and the Dawgs product just keeps on hitting.
In the air, deep down the line, and it is gone again! Matt Lloyd is unstoppable. His 3rd home run of this series. Walk-off grand slam came on Wednesday. Now has homered in back-to-back games on the weekend.
In May, he's hitting .421 with 2 homers and 4 RBI in 19 plate appearances. He's .325 with 3 and 23 on the season. And for a second week in a row, he's been named the Canadian Baseball Network's Minor League Player of the Week. Could the St. Louis Cardinals be calling any time in the near future for the 29-year-old? Time will tell. And how about the trajectory of Cohen Achen? After just 1 game in High A, the Calgary native got promoted once again to the Double-A Chesapeake Bay Sox, where he got his first start of the young season on Saturday.
Is 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So he strikes out Guerrero, got him with a slider at 86. That's his first strikeout, boys, at a biggie.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Also can play short. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Another slider.
Home run with the Cubs today.
That's strike 3 called. Excellent slider from Achen.
The line on his debut, 1 run on 3 hits and a walk while striking out 4 in 4 1/3 in a 6-5 win over Hartford. And our final note from the pros is an update on a guy we haven't checked in on in a while. Bigger Saskatchewan native and Vauxhall grad Garrett Hawkins continues to play well in his return with the Fort Wayne Tin Caps. He missed all of last season with Tommy John surgery. He's 4-1 with a 4.73 ERA and 8 relief appearances, striking out 18 and 13 plus innings of work. Over to the CCBC now, and it's been a busy week with most teams playing 2 4-game sets. PBA opened up the week with a split against Edmonton Collegiate, while the University of Calgary Dinos lost 3 of 4 to Cohen Achen College. Edmonton then split a 4-gamer with OC, while PBA took 3 of 4 from the Dinos. So we head into the final weekend of the regular season with UFV on top at 19-7. PBA is second at 16-11, and OC is third at 15-11. Edmonton's at 10-17, while the Dinos are 9-19. The Hawks' Chris Menard will be joining us a little bit later on in the show. The CCBC World Series, meantime, hits Lethbridge May long weekend. On the college baseball front stateside, there has been a lot of news as the playoffs are underway, and each conference's all-star teams and top players are being announced. Among some of the highlights, recent friends of the show, Aiden Macris and Logan Grant, were among those recognized for their great seasons at Bellevue University. Macris was named first-team All-North Star Athletic Athletic Association and Conference Newcomer of the Year, while Grant picked up first-team accolades as well as a Gold Glove Award. Dawgs Academy alum Michael Soroka has been named Missouri State's Freshman of the Year. He went 3-2 with a 5.69 ERA in 13 appearances, including 2 complete games, striking out 55 in 61-plus innings of work. Another Dawgs alum, Ricky Sanchez, picked up an MIAA Gold Glove honor and is a third-team All-MIAA selection after a solid season at Pitt State. And the Canadian Baseball Network's College Player of the Week is Dawgs alum Jimmy Dion. He finished the year hitting .404 with 22 home runs and 79 RBI in 52 games at Howard College. He's heading to Purdue next season. And Saskatoon's Peyton McHargue has been named an All-MIAA second-team player after hitting .297 with 13 homers and 41 RBI with Washburn University. Baseball America's top 400 list for the 2025 MLB draft is out, and 8 Canadians are on that list with a couple of familiar faces, including Dawgs Academy product Tim Piazentine at 293, while Sylvan Lake Gulls alum Nick Groves comes in at 328. Big congratulations to Dawgs Academy's 18U Black Squad on winning their second straight Best of the West tournament in Kamloops this past week. It was another big win for the program, and we'll be chatting with Preston Tocheniuk about it all in just a few minutes. Action continues full throttle in the Baseball Alberta Elite League. The Calgary Cubs remain undefeated at 7-0, as do the Red Deer Rangers at 5-0. The Weber Wildcats round out the top 3 at 3-2, and the players of the week include Landon O'Howe and Ethan Savage of the Calgary Bucks, Luke Mahar at Parkland, and Matthew Schneider and Carter Moffat of St. Albert. A pair of Saskatchewan communities are in line for Jays Care Field of Dreams funding. That announcement was made last weekend on a Blue Jays Central broadcast. North Regina Little League and Hanley Minor Ball were among the communities featured. None from Alberta made the cut this year. And a big congratulations to a pair of familiar faces to baseball in Alberta and Saskatchewan, as they're being inducted into 2 different halls of fame. WCBL president and Lethbridge Bulls owner, among other things, Kevin Kavami, is being inducted into the Lethbridge Sports Hall of Fame. That ceremony is set for Friday night. Meantime, Regina Red Sox head coach Ry Pathakis is being inducted into the Saskatchewan Baseball Hall of Fame. Details on the rest of the class of 2025 and the date for this year's ceremony will be announced soon. On to this week's guests, and we'll start with the Best of the West tournament in Kamloops this past week. It's a staple for anyone looking to watch high-end high school baseball, and for a second year in a row, Dawgs Academy came away as champions with a 7-4 victory over the North Shore Twins. One of the standouts was right-hander Preston Tocheniuk, who threw a complete game 5-hitter against Langley in the semifinal. If his name rings a bell, he's the younger brother of episode 231 guest Quinn Tocheniuk.
Preston, thanks so much for joining us here on the show.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
2025 Best of the West champions. How does that sound?
Exactly how we drew it up, right? That's the big tournament that we need to go out there and win. A lot of tough competition, a lot of our rivals. We got to make a name for ourselves like we've done in the past, but no, we just played our game and came out on top.
Take us back to the beginning of that tourney. You're going in as defending champs. You've been there before, and you mentioned off air you're 4 for 5 at that tournament now. What's the message going into the clubhouse, especially for those who might be new, who haven't exactly gone through the rigors of a tournament like that?
There's certainly a sense of added pressure having won the tournament last year, but this year was a little different. We had lost a lot of our, top core guys that we had last year, like Benito and Matchy and Hartman, all those guys. So we kind of came to the tournament as underdogs a little bit. So we had to prove ourselves and show that we're still, the dogs, like we still got this.
Mm-hmm. Was there a moment early on that maybe cemented it for you where you went, okay, we're here, we're good, don't worry about missing some of those key pieces?
I'd say definitely our first game. We mercied a team out of Quebec, and we're just like, all right, if we just play our game, don't change anything, do what we do, then this is definitely possible.
As the tourney goes on, did you get a better and better feeling about where things are headed?
Yeah, for sure. Once we clinched the first seed, going 3-0 in pool play, and seeing that we had to play Langley, we're like, this game might be a little tough, but we just got to do what we do, and we'll figure it out.
For sure. On the flip side of that, were there any uh-oh moments for you where you had to take that step back, maybe hold your breath for a second, go, okay, we can get through this?
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. During that semifinal against Langley, I started, and the first 2 pitches of the game didn't go my way. I gave up 2 doubles, and we were already down 1-0 before a minute. And, everybody kind of tensed up a little bit, but, we flushed it, reset, and took care of business.
As a pitcher, when you have that happen that quick, how hard is it to press the reset button while you're still also trying to focus on that next pitch?
I mean, sometimes it can be hard, but, you just got to find a way to do it quick. Once the ball leaves your hand, it's truly out of your control, so you just got to find a way to flush it, win the next pitch, and, have faith in your guys that you're going to get your runs back. Mm-hmm. That's the big thing.
I'm curious, on a personal level, do you have a whether it's a routine or whether it's that one thing, do you look out at the crowd? Do you do something in particular that allows you to take that deep breath, or is it like meditation for a quick second? Like, what is it for you?
No, it's more or less just take a deep breath. Sometimes I take the baseball and just squeeze it really hard in my hand. And, that always seems to kind of work.
Mm-hmm. So you get into the final against North Shore. What was the game plan going into that one?
Our coach Guthrow told us right after the semifinal, he's like, Championship Sunday, not a place we'd rather be. Nothing changes, really.
What's the excitement like in the dugout as you take the lead and you realize, we got this, this one's ours?
There's that sense of antsy. Everybody's kind of going back and forth in the dugout, getting ready to run out and celebrate with the guys. But, we kind of had to settle down a little bit. There's still a lot of game left to go at that point. But, we kind of knew we had it.
Mm-hmm. Final outs recorded. Who you hugging first?
Whoever I can grab, really. But who would it have been? I think I was trying to get to who closed the game, William Labonte, but, everybody had the same idea as me, so...
That's fantastic. Is there a blackout moment to a certain extent? Because it's a bit of a grind, that tournament, right? There's not a lot of time to take that step back and go. So are you guys kind of in blackout moment for a while?
A little bit, yeah. Obviously we're there for the whole week, long time. Once that final out gets recorded, everybody's running out there celebrating. You can lose your head a little bit sometimes. Mm-hmm.
You mentioned 4 for 5 at that tournament. What's it mean to you to be able to keep going out to these big events and come back as champions?
It's great. It just speaks to the success that we have here at the Academy with the coaching staff and the players and the legacy. It's just really important to, at this point, it might as well just be our tournament because we just have the vast amount of success there.
For sure. Now all said and done with that one, what's next for you? What's got you excited heading into summer?
Definitely the Langley tournament that we're going to be playing in. I think that's one that we need to have a strong game plan in. We haven't won that tournament, I think, since 2019, so we kind of need to regain our spot at the top there.
Fantastic. Let's get in your baseball past here a little bit, Preston. You're an Alberta kid, born and raised. Who got you into the game in the first place?
It was definitely my 2 brothers, Quinn and Grayson. Being the youngest, all I wanted to do was follow in their footsteps and just do whatever they did. It was definitely those 2.
Was it all baseball all the time for you, or were you a multi-sport athlete growing up?
No, we played hockey as well, but that didn't really stick as much as baseball did. That's all I ever wanted to do, was just play baseball.
Was there a moment where it flipped for you, where you went, okay, baseball's a fun game and all, but I think I've got a future in this. Maybe I can take this thing to the next level?
Yeah, I think it's when I first joined the Dawgs Academy and I saw that Quinn was going off to college and all his teammates had opportunities to go to college. I'm like, yeah, maybe if I stick with this, I can be there too.
Looking back on the young career to this point, you've had a few highlights, but I'm curious, what's your favorite memory or moment on the park where you had to kind of take that step back and go, man, I can't believe I get to do this?
I'd say definitely recently in the 2024 WCBL season. I was affiliating with the college team, and on opening night, both me and Quinn had pitched in the same game, and we never thought that would ever happen because of our large age gap, which is around 7 years. We never thought we'd ever be on the same team.
That is so cool. So what's that like from a player who, like a lot of those academy guys, especially the youngsters, they're out flapping or flipping 50-50, during games, and you've got that dream and aspiration to go out and play on the college turf with those guys. What's that like getting to live out that dream?
It's incredible. I mean, that's all I've ever wanted to do. I've been going down to Siemens Stadium ever since I could remember, being 5 minutes away, and I never thought, I'd be the one on the field signing autographs, pitching, seeing the crowd. I mean, it's incredible.
How driven does that make you to want to do it again and again and again like your brother did?
Oh, I mean, that's all I ever want to do until I retire, It's incredible.
That's awesome. On the flip side, we all know baseball is a game of failure, so I'd be remiss if I didn't ask about it. What's been that biggest hurdle or biggest obstacle you've had to overcome, and how'd you do it, and how proud are you of being able to get over it?
I'd say my biggest hurdle, my first year Bantam, I had a little mishap playing a game, took a ball off the back of the helmet, whatever. But I later found out that I had detached my retina and I needed to have surgery for it.
Oh, wow.
So, I took the whole off season, went through our circuit, tried to just go back to where I was. And then I ended up playing my second year of Bantam and ended up winning Player of the Year, which I thought was quite the comeback.
That is quite the comeback. So how did you come back from that? Because it's one thing, like we talk all the time about, the physical injuries, the legs, the arms, especially with pitchers, but that's got to be a different beast to try to deal with your eyesight and making sure that everything's all good on that side of things.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to take it one day at a time, really. That's not something, I guess like all surgeries, it's not something you can rush. You just got to take your time with it, take it one day at a time, and have faith that you will be able to come back.
100%. You're off to Panola in the fall. How excited are you for that?
I'm very excited. I mean, I'm happy to play baseball where it's constantly warm, for sure, instead of the uncertainty of the weather up here.
I can only imagine. So what was it about that school that made you go, I want to go study there?
Definitely the opportunity itself. I mean, everybody wants to go play Division I baseball, right? But, junior college, it's a lot more accessible, a lot more grindy. You kind of want to have that, hunger there. So it definitely appealed to me there.
What are you thinking about taking in school?
Definitely something that has to do with, kinesiology.
Fantastic. If you weren't playing baseball, what do you think you'd be doing?
I know my friends are going to make fun of me for this one, but I'd definitely be playing golf.
Are you a good golfer at least?
It's open for interpretation.
As someone who would readily bring a baseball bat onto a golf course and probably get kicked off said golf course, I can empathize with that totally. A couple more fun ones for you before we let you go here, Preston. First off, let's say you're the Jordan Romano or Mariano Rivera and you get your walkout tune as the closer. What's that tune for you?
That's a tough one. I definitely think of something that, might get the crowd into it, put on a show a little bit. Maybe I Was Made for Loving You by Kiss.
Oh, oldie but a goodie. I like it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And finally, what's your go-to food when you go down to Siemens Stadium and watch a game?
Definitely the taco in a bag is good.
That is a good one for sure. It's super underrated in my books, but everybody says hot dogs or pizza or poutine, but yeah, I got to go with that. Yeah, now I want one from Siemens Stadium. Great, thanks. Anyways, two more before we let you go here, Preston. They're the kind of standard ones for us here on the show. First off, you mentioned those young kids you're signing autographs for. They're probably looking to you for advice. So those young kids who are just starting out at Dawgs and want to get to where you're at now. What are those pieces of advice or those words of wisdom you like to impart upon them?
I'd say definitely enjoy it. The game, baseball is a game of failure, so you can't be scared to make mistakes. You just got to learn from them and find a way to get better.
Great piece of advice. And finally, what does a game of baseball mean to you, Preston?
I mean, it means everything to me. It's all I've ever known. There's not Preston Tocheniuk without baseball. So I'd say it's everything. I've known my closest friends from baseball. I have the opportunity to go to school for baseball. My family is baseball, really. So I'd say it just means everything.
Well, fantastic stuff, Preston. We got to know your brother a while back, and glad to be able to get to know you a little bit as well. Congratulations on the Best of the West. Congrats on all the success with Dawgs, continued success at Panola and beyond. And again, thanks so much for joining us here on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Take care.
Up next is Okotoks product and Calgary Bucks alum Adam Rowland. The 5'10 outfielder has put the wraps on his sophomore season at Southern Maine Community College, where he hit .300 with 20 RBI and 25 runs scored on the way to being named the Yankee Small College Conference Honorable Mention. After helping the Seawolves capture the conference title in 2024, this spring ended in heartbreak with an extra innings loss in the final, but it was a memorable 2 years to say the least for Rowland, including providing some assistance in a combined no-hitter in mid-April. Adam, thanks so much for joining us here on the show.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Adam Rowland, Yankee Small College Conference Honorable Mention player after an outstanding season at Southern Maine. How does that all sound?
It sounds great. You know, I couldn't have had it any other way. I'm really happy, really grateful for the opportunity to get named to the all honorable mention list. And kudos to all my teammates who made the all conference team, as well as my teammate Quinn Dillon, who was named player of the year. That was huge for him, and nothing but happiness for those guys.
Awesome stuff. Now, looking back at the spring that was, the numbers kind of speak for themselves, but on the whole, how did you feel about the season that was?
You know, I knew it was going to be my last season putting on the Seawolf uniform, so I tried to give it my all every time I stepped out on that field, be there for my teammates, and just produce any way I could.
What was clicking for you?
You know, our head coach Ben Gravel, he's been phenomenal for my hitting approach. He knows a lot about how to approach attacking the batter's box and going after the right pitches, and his methods really just clicked with me, and I was able to put bat on ball more times than not. So
that's the way to approach it. So heading into the year, did you have any expectations of goals of yourself that you wanted to accomplish?
Personal goals, I wanted to be a 300 hitter. I accomplished that, and it was a little bit sketchy. I didn't exactly have the greatest end of the season, but I reached that goal, and I was really happy about that. And a lot of team goals. You know, this year we really focused on the team and like being a brotherhood and kind of all coming together and chasing a couple dreams. But at the end of the day, we put it all out on that field. It took 4 extra innings to beat us, so can't be too upset about the outcome. Worked hard for it. Was truly a blessing to share the field with this team. It was a special group of guys.
You had a pretty special run of games, too. I know there was a perfect game thrown in the process, and you were also part of some history this season. You finished up a combined no-hitter against Central Maine. Walk us through getting the call initially first.
Well, it was an interesting situation. You know, I didn't know Connor Boulette had a no-hitter going. I thought they had a hit earlier in the game, and my right fielder came out to me and looked me in the eyes right before the first pitch of the last inning and looked at me, and he said, "We're diving for everything. Nothing touches the turf." And I looked at him and I was like, "Yeah, of course. Like we got to make some outs here. We got to get out of this game." And it didn't click until he got the first out of that inning, and then it came back to me, and I kind of looked over at him and I nodded and I was like, "Okay, yeah, I've clued in. I've noticed it. We didn't talk about it, so we didn't jinx it." And coach throughout the whole game. In the 5th inning, he came up to me and said, "Hey, play some good catch in center field. Like I might pull you from center field and have you throw an inning or two in case Boulette gets in trouble." And I was fully ready to go. I had full confidence that Connor was going to be able to close it out, but got into a little bit of a jam, bases loaded in the bottom of the 7th, and out comes our head coach, and he points to center field, brings me in, and adrenaline just took over. I was so excited. I was ready to go. I knew I was going to do something special and help out Connor and the team. And I only needed one pitch to do it, so I was super happy.
Best one pitch you've probably. Did you go into it with a bit of a mindset of this is what I'm going to throw, or did the catcher put something down? You're just like, yep, we're going to go with that. Walk us through that one pitch.
That one pitch, they'd been struggling to hit the outside fastball the whole game. So Alex, being our catcher, loved the guy, great catcher. And he came up to me and he goes, all right, first pitch, fastball outside, let's get this done. And I nodded my head and said, let's do it. Gave him some knuckles and executed the pitch, perfect spot. And he lined it right into my glove on the mound and doubled him off at first base.
Wow. So that's a heck of a way to end the game. Did it kind of set in at that point, hey, you finished off a no-hitter?
Yeah. I mean, the emotions were incredible. Everyone in the dugout was up, jumping around. Everyone was fired up for me and Connor. But I try not to take too much credit, because when you throw 6.2 hitless innings and I come in with one pitch, I gotta let him have his moment. So.
Absolutely. I mean, you pitched pretty well in your outings that you did have. Is that something that you want to continue as you move forward in your baseball journey, or is it something where you're like, I'll stick with the outfield and do the emergency work when needed?
I'm definitely sticking with the emergency work. Coach had my work cut out for me on the mound. I got put into the bottom of the 10th or the top of the 10th inning to close out a close game with a conference team. And I got that job done. And then other than that, I got put in a no-hit situation, and everything else all the time I always got put into a close game. So he had some good faith in me, but I think I might leave the pitching here in Maine and focus on the outfield for my next school.
For sure. Looking back on the young couple of years there with Southern Maine, any other highlights? I know you won a championship, but walk us through some of the things that really stand out to you during your time there.
The biggest thing that stands out to me is my freshman season during the YSCC conference tournament. I was named the outstanding offensive player of the tournament my freshman year. That game came down. It was one of the best baseball games I've ever been a part of. Walking it off to win the championship in the bottom of the ninth with 2 outs was incredible. It was truly a remarkable experience, and I don't think any games will come close to that in my books but we'll see what the future has to hold. But that definitely is one of the best memories I've had here, is winning that championship with that team my freshman year.
100%. I know you've got your eyes on some possible 4-year schools coming up in the not too distant future as well, but what has you excited about the journey ahead and what lies ahead in your baseball journey?
I'm just really excited to just keep playing, keep studying. I was always a little nervous, wondering if college baseball was for me, but coming here and having an amazing experience and choosing the right school for myself, not just the one that looks the nicest or has all the pretty toys. It means a lot to me to have these memories and go through this and be able to go on to another school after this. It's truly a blessing, because there's a lot of guys on my JUCO team this year that are hanging them up after this year, and I just want to keep playing for them, show them that we're always teammates, no matter if you're not playing and I'm still playing. It's truly a brotherhood, and it's been an amazing experience. Some lifelong friends, lifelong memories, and I wouldn't trade anything for it.
Sounds amazing. Hey, let's get in your baseball past here a little bit. Adam, you're originally from Calgary or in Okotoks area. How'd you get into baseball in the first place?
My dad, he's been the biggest role model for me. Especially, he introduced me to baseball at a young age. We're Yankees fans, so I always got some teasing going on. And I'm not a Blue Jays fan, but he introduced me to Derek Jeter, all those guys, taught me how to play the game the right way, and I've always kind of held that close to my heart and to carry that no matter what jersey I wear, or what country I play in. So it's been huge.
When you were growing up, was it all baseball all the time for you, or did you play a bunch of different sports?
No, my family's quite big into hockey as well, so I played hockey up until my grade 11 year, and then I got injured, and I wanted to focus on baseball at that point anyways, so I just kind of focused on baseball after that. But I always played hockey, maybe not the highest level, but it always kept me in good shape, and I kind of used that as an off-season kind of training, always helped the legs out a little bit, got me going, kept that competitive spirit throughout the off season. So
Absolutely. Was there a moment in your memory banks, or was there a moment in time where you realized that, hey, this is a fun game and all, but maybe I can take this thing to the next level?
When I first started playing with the junior dinos at the time, the Calgary Bucks is what they're called now. That was my goal, because I met a couple of guys, some senior guys that were in grade 12 and were just starting to get their offers, and I looked up to those guys. I thought they were the coolest guys I've ever met, coolest players, best guys, and they were huge in my ideas to become a college baseball player. So I owe it to the seniors ahead of me and the guys that kind of paved the path to kind of show it that it is possible to be a college athlete from Canada, or baseball especially.
Absolutely. Looking back on the young career to this point, obviously you've had a few in the last couple of years here, but any favorite memories or moments that really stand out to you where you had to take that step back and go, man, this is cool. I can't believe I get to do this.
Oh, that's a tough one. I think my freshman year, the first away game we had, it was at the NECBL. It's the New England Collegiate League. It's a very good league. A lot of D1 players play there, and it's a beautiful stadium. And for my first away game, getting the privilege to play there and share the field with all those guys, or play on the field that all those big names played on, it kind of made me feel like, wow, I'm really here. I'm actually a college baseball player. Like, this is where I belong. So that was one of the biggest parts, at least in my young career experiences, that have really stuck out to me and kind of made me take a step back, take a nice deep breath, and realize, wow, this is the moment. This is what I've been dreaming of.
Mm-hmm. Looking back on the Bucks program specifically, what did that program mean to you? Not just as a ball player, but as a human being as well, and getting you prepared for that next step in the journey.
Oh, those guys over there, they mean the world to me. I'm close with all of my coaches still. Over winter break, I'm always in there chopping it up with my old coaches, old teammates, young kids. I love it there. It's true. It was the best spot for me. Nothing but gratitude to everyone over there. It was incredible. I struggling to put the words together, but all those guys over there, they mean the world to me, and I wouldn't be in the spot I am today without them. So,
on the flip side of that, we all know baseball is a game of failure. So looking back on the career, what's been the biggest hurdle or the biggest challenge you've had to overcome, and how proud of yourself are you for being able to do that?
Yeah, so for in Maine college baseball, we kind of split the season in half. So we play 12 meaningful season conference games in the fall. So those are countable games to our overall record. And then in the spring is when we play all of our meaningful conference games. Mm-hmm. So my freshman fall at SMCC, I struggled at the plate. I was barely scraping over 200 as a hitter, and I was kind of really down in the dumps, and I was upset, and I was wondering if I wasn't cut out for it. And that's when my old coach, my freshman year coach, Nick Lobs, came up to me, and he gave me a hug, and he goes, "You're built for this. You're more than capable. I understand. It's going to be hard for a little while. This is your family now. We got you. We got you back. Everyone has faith in you. Trust the process. Hit the off season hard. You're going to do good." And come the spring season, I tore it up. Everyday starter, and won offensive player of the conference tournament. So his faith wasn't misplaced, and all the times that he spoke to me, it was always meaningful, always built me up. Nothing but love to my old coach.
Fantastic stuff. A few fun ones before we let you go, Adam. First off, when you're at the ballpark as a fan, what's your go-to food?
I'm a big cheeseburger guy. I love having a burger. I'm pretty plain. I'm pretty basic. Just barbecue sauce, cheese, and if there's bacon available, I'm all over that.
Fantastic. When you're coming out as for an at bat, what's your walk up tune?
I've usually bounced between a couple of them, but I stuck with one this year for my final year. I used "The Stroke" by Billy Squier.
Oldie but a goodie. I like it.
It was a good one.
And finally, when you were a kid, you mentioned Jeter. I wonder if this is the answer to it. Whose poster was up on your wall?
There was always a lot of Yankees memorabilia in our house, but the one that always stuck out to me, and the player I always tried to play like and try to replicate the swing in the backyard was Bryce Harper. He's the man. He's a dog. I try and play like him every time I step out on that field.
100%. Very good one indeed. Couple more for you here. When you're back home, you get to talk to those Bucks that are coming up through the program, or maybe some young kids who are watching games over at Southern Maine, and they want to get to where you're at now. What kinds of advice or words of wisdom do you want to impart upon them?
Believe in yourself. You're your own best friend in that situation. You got to grind it out, do everything right. It's tough. It's tough to share the knowledge, but I got faith in everyone that comes up to me and asks questions. I love talking about how to help people out, and in the future, it's a goal of mine. I want to be a recruiting coordinator sometime and kind of help those high school kids get to areas, because I understand that it's difficult. It's difficult as a college or a high school baseball player to kind of get those looks to go to the college schools, and I understand that probably just as good as everyone else. But I want to help. I want to help kids out and find their homes and hopefully get the experiences I got at SMCC.
That is a fantastic goal. Really, really cool. And the final question we ask of everybody here on the show, Adam, what does the game of baseball mean to you?
Oh, it's everything to me. It's life, but it's not. There's so much more things outside of baseball, but the beauty that the game brings and just how much fun it is and how much it can mean to someone and how exhilarating it can make you feel. It's something that you can't find in any other game. Like barreling a nice, difficult pitch or hitting that ball up the middle just perfectly. I've yet to experience that in any other way in the world. So it's truly a unique and beautiful game.
It's been a wonderful opportunity to get to know a little bit about you and your journey as well, Adam. Congratulations on the honorable mention nod. Congrats on the success at Southern Maine, continued success wherever the baseball journey takes you next. And again, thanks so much for joining us here on the show.
Thank you so much. It's been huge being on here. Thank you so much for having me.
And we'll wrap things up by heading back to the CCBC for a chat with Edmonton Collegiate Hawks hurler Chris Menard. The freshman right-hander is coming off his best outing of his young CC career, a complete game, 7-inning, 2-hit effort in a 1-0 victory over Okanagan College. He also walked 2 and struck out 4 in that contest. The St. Albert native is now 1-1 with a 2.03 ERA in 7 appearances. With the regular season coming to an end this weekend, we thought we'd check in, see how the ride has been for the 5'11 MacEwan University product. Chris, thanks so much for joining us here on the show.
It's a pleasure to be on the show.
Well, let's start off. Great season for you so far in your freshman season, and you're heading into the final weekend of the regular season here. How are you feeling about how the way things have gone this spring?
Well, I think my coaches have a lot of trust in me. They've put me in situations where I didn't expect to be in, and I've tried to make the best of what I've got. And yeah, so far so good.
What's been working for you so far this season on the mound? Because, you look at the numbers and pretty darn good considering you're a freshman.
I've just been letting the ball kind of get in play, let my defense behind me do the work for me,
Team's been right in the thick of things as well. What's the vibe in the clubhouse heading into the final weekend of the season?
We're trying to keep it positive, It doesn't really matter the regular season that much, trying to get some momentum heading into, playoffs or, yeah.
Mm-hmm. You did your part for sure in this last start. This one sticks out to me in a big way. You got a powerhouse like OC rolling through, and you get the 1-0 win, 7 innings on your part, just a couple of hits, a couple of walks, 4 strikeouts to your name. How'd you feel about that start? Because that had to have been probably your best to date.
Well, it was my first college start, so, it was warming up. It was a little warm, nerve-wracking, but once I got up there, I've been starting my whole life, and I kind of just trusted the process, trusted the guys behind me, did my thing.
Absolutely. Were you leaning on much going into that one? Did you have a specific pitch that was working for you? Because, it's what, like I said, OC is one of those teams that always seems to have the bats going, and you kept them quiet, so something must have been working real well for you as far as pitches or your selection or whatever the case may have been.
Well, I got the game 2 for that game, or for that day. And my pitchers told me that they were on the fastballs, breaking balls early, trying to work those in, keep the batters, not on guard.
You had Matthew Ridsdale toss a no-no earlier on in the season. You've had some really good performances, as EC always does when it comes to being on the bump. I'm curious, how much do you lean on that veteran presence to maybe help guide you through the processes of a season like this?
It's always nice learning from people who experienced it. Being a freshman, it's a little nerve-wracking, and those guys have really helped me out, trying to keep me confident and helping me, whenever I had questions, they got answers.
For sure. I know EC's really wanting to get their hands on their first championship. What are you seeing out of your team this season that makes you go, this is the year it's going to happen?
For us, I've seen glimpses of everything we need. We've played good defense. We've had good bats. We've had great pitching, but we've just struggled to find them all at the same time. And I feel like, a couple games where we find it and we could be easily rolling through.
What would it mean to you on a personal level to be able to bring a championship home to the Edmonton region?
Oh, it would be really nice, Obviously, like winning, because who doesn't?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, bring one home. I don't think anything could really top that.
For sure. Let's get in your baseball past here a little bit, Chris. You're originally from St. Albertan area. How did you get into baseball in the first place?
I started playing because I played baseball and hockey growing up, and so those were two different sports at two different times. And my older cousin, Jack Hudson, who's on PBA, I always kind of looked up to him a little bit. Yeah, that kind of helped me push forward through it, and he's always helped me through too.
When did it turn for you where you're like, okay, hockey's cool and all, but you know what, I want to chase this baseball thing?
So I would have been 16 at the time. That was my last year of hockey. It just played that year, didn't get the results I wanted, and it was just baseball's looking good for me, and didn't really have the time to commit to both, so I had to pick one and chose baseball.
And obviously you did pretty well for yourself. I know you played a little bit with St. Albert Cardinals in the BAEL as an example. What that program and being able to play in St. Albert mean to you in your development, not just as a ball player, but obviously as a human being as well?
Well, I've had a lot of great coaches along the way, played with a lot of great players, pick up as much as I can from each and every one of them. If you learn one thing from each person, that's a lot of things.
Well, and obviously, too, you look at some of the guys who've made their way through and are now playing high-level ball, from Eric Sabrowski all the way down to some of the junior college guys. I mean, is there anybody in particular that you kind of looked up to growing up and went, okay, I want to chase that dream too?
One guy I always played with, Michael Soroka. I used to catch him, and, I've learned a lot from him, pitching, and he's doing great down in the States, He's also a freshman, absolutely tearing things up.
When you look back on the young career to this point, Chris, what's your favorite memory or moment where you've had to kind of take that step back and go, man, I can't believe I get to do this?
My first year in U18 midget, getting to win the provincial championship in Alberta with St. Albert and getting to play in the nationals, man, that was just a great experience.
Walk us through what it's like to rep your province like that. You've won the provincial championship, and now you're repping, the blue and gold kind of thing. What'd that mean to you?
It really means a lot, Obviously, we got to do it in Fort McMurray, and it's staying in Alberta, and it's just fun, playing beside guys you've played with all year, trained with, friends. Some are close to family, and yeah.
On the flip side of that, we all know baseball is a game of failure. What's been maybe the biggest challenge or hurdle you've had to overcome?
I don't know. There's a lot of challenges in baseball, trying to learn how to, learn from failure, because, you know, you're going to fail a lot. And you can do everything right and still fail. It's not fair, but that's just how it goes. And just understanding that sometimes, you know, when you do things right and you fail, you know, you keep doing what's right.
Absolutely.
That's the process.
A few fun ones here before we let you go. When you're at the ballpark as a fan, what is your go-to food?
Ooh, I like hot dogs.
Are you a ketchup guy, a mustard guy, a both guy, nothing guy? What's on top?
Ketchup and relish. I know throw some kids off, but I'm big on ketchup and relish.
That's a good one. I know that ketchup versus mustard can be a very polarizing thing. So adding a relish in, you might start a bit of a controversy here. It's all good, though. When you're going up, whether you're going up as a batter or maybe you get that walk-in tune a la Mariano Rivera with Enter Sandman, what's that one tune that you'd love to walk into?
Oh, man. You know, Enter Sandman would be fun, but, you know, you got to be good. You got to earn it. It's like one of those things, you know, got to earn it before you can use it, right?
Absolutely.
You know, it's just iconic.
And finally, when it comes to when you're growing up, whose poster was up on your wall?
Ooh. Growing up a Red Sox fan, you know, I had Mookie Betts. I had Chris Sale. Like, those were big guys. Xander Bogaerts as well.
That's not something that you hear a lot of. Usually it's Blue Jays, maybe the odd Yankees, but a Bo Sox fan. All right, I dig it. As much as I'm a Blue Jays fan, I still respect it. So that's awesome. A couple of final ones for you before we let you go. First off, let's say you're getting to talk to those kids who are just going to be starting out on their journeys with EC as an example. Maybe they're on the JV team as an example, or maybe you're back in St. Albert and talking to those young kids who are just starting out on their journeys, and they're looking up to you. They want to get to where you're at now. What's that one piece of advice or those words of wisdom you'd like to impart upon them?
Gotta work, you know, when nobody's watching, you know, get your work in. The only person, like, other people are going to hold you accountable, but you got to hold yourself accountable. That's the big thing. And, you know, trust yourself, trust what you got, you know, work for it, work hard, prove why you should be there.
Fantastic stuff. And the final one we always ask everybody here on the show, what does the game of baseball mean to you?
Oh, it means a lot. You know, when you're having a bad day, you go to the field, you get to be with the boys, and you get to take your mind off it. It really means a lot. You know, it's a world, it's a place outside of, you know, problems for most people.
For sure. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure getting a chance to learn a little bit about your journey, Chris. Congratulations on all the success you've had at this point, continued success at EC and beyond. And again, thanks so much for joining us here on the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thanks again to Preston Tocheniuk, Adam Rowland, and Chris Menard for joining us this week. And thanks to all of you for downloading and listening. Make sure to hit the subscribe button as we have a full slate of episodes coming your way, including the annual WCBL season preview extravaganza. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag just yet, but it's going to be something new from what we usually do, so stay tuned for that. As always, a tip of the cap to our platinum supporters, the Okotoks Dogs, Under the Lights Sports and Entertainment, and the Western Canadian Baseball League for all they do for us and for the game in our province. If you'd like to join our roster of sponsors, head to albertadugoutstories.com/supporters. Until next time, thank you for all of your support online, on social, and on air of Alberta Dugout Stories.